And welcome to the third snow survey of the season here at Phillips Station near Lake Tahoe in California. So we are getting underway. The snow survey team has just arrived on the course, being led by Andy Rising, the manager of DWR's Snow Surveys and Water Supply Forecast Unit. And as you'll notice, Andy rocking the skis today as they're starting out with their very first measurement out on the snow course. So the measurements that are taken here are factored into the other measurements that happen throughout the state. That gives us the average of how the snowpack in California is doing so far. So this snow survey team will go to 6, sometimes 7 spots and use the snow tube, the blue tube that Andy is holding, to get measurements. Those measurements will then be averaged to give us the amount of snow at this location. And so the measurements are taken at the same exact location each and every survey. The tape measure is used to ensure the team is measuring at the correct spot, at the correct distance. And then this step provides reliability when reporting averages and trends of how the site's snowpack is doing compared to the previous months or even years. We're a little slushy up here today because we got some good precipitation, some good rain, a good rainstorm that came in within the last week, and it was a little bit of a warmer storm. That happened at a lower elevation. So very curious to see what the water content will be up here at this site. Now, for those wondering how the state is looking so far, so this year is another example of how California's seasons can really swing between extremes. The first snow survey that we took at the beginning of January, late December, was helped by some atmospheric rivers that happened in mid to late December and brought the statewide snowpack to 71% of average. It was a good start. However, the second snow survey came after some warm storms at the beginning of January, which meant below average snowpack accumulation. And then the rest of that month was pretty dry with warmer temperatures, which meant snowpack loss. And that statewide snowpack was 59% of average for that date. So now we're here at the third survey. And as you can see, we have Jordan out holding the tool that they use in order to measure the snow tube. So for the third snow survey, well, February has been a mixed bag. The state got some cold precipitation that brought snow to the lower elevations. We even saw some on the drive up here, even around 4,000 feet and just below it. Still some snow on the ground, but then that was followed by the warmer storm. And so we'll see what the numbers are when Andy completes the survey. And so the survey team goes to each site. They drive the snow survey tube into, or rather the snow tube into the snowpack. They're trying to hit the dirt at the bottom, and that lets them know that they have a really good core sample. So if you ever see them sometimes on the video trying to pick pieces of dirt or grass, that's usually a good sample because it means they've gone all the way to the bottom. And then after that, they will pull the tube out, place it on that scale to see how much it weighs. And so the way that this tube works is that it measures in inches to know how deep the snowpack is. When the tube is weighed, it determines the density of the snowpack. That way we know how much water is stored in the snow. The tube is set so 1 ounce of snow measured is 1 inch of water content. The water content and depth gives us the water density. So light fluffy snow would not have as much water as heavy snow. And as we might be expecting after the rainstorms that we got within the last week, this might be a little bit denser snow. So very curious to see what the survey reveals. So about snow surveys themselves, as we're going into our next measurement, this location here at Phillips Station is just one out of more than 260 snow courses that are manually measured statewide through the California Cooperative Snow Surveys program. The program was established in 1929, and the California Department of Water Resources is now the lead agency that oversees the program. It includes a total of 50 participating federal, state, local, and private agencies. The goal of that program is to predict how much water we'll have in the summer months when the snow begins to melt. Some of you may have heard or been told before that the snowpack can represent at least a third of California's water supplies, kind of seen as another reservoir that takes place or exists during the summer months or the warmer months. And that snowmelt feeds into the rivers and reservoirs. It's used for agriculture, drinking water, as well as supporting nature. So it looks like they are taking the tube out. Jordan looks like she's clearing out the potential dirt at the bottom. Maybe they got a pretty good core sample at that one. So April 1st. Now, of course, we are here, we're doing the third snow phase, typically known as the March survey. Oh, yeah, she got dirt, great. So why April 1 matters? So April 1 is the date that we usually refer to when reading off the numbers of what the averages are. And the reason why the April 1st average matters is because in terms of snow water content, that's typically when the snowpack is at its peak each year in the Sierra Nevada. So with that in mind, the Earth rotates in a way where the sun is at the right elevation, where snowpack no longer would accumulate after April 1. It would start melting off after that date, that the sun's at the right angle, the right place in terms of creating some runoff. Oh, and we are cleaning out the snow tube, and looks like we'll be going on to the next one. So we'll let you enjoy some of the sights and visuals of the snow survey as it goes on. We'll be back in just a little bit. And welcome back. If you are just joining us, we are in the midst of the third snow survey of the season up here at Phillips Station. This is being led by the California Department of Water Resources. We have the Snow Surveys and Water Supply Forecasting Unit out here on the snow course at Phillips Station, taking their, I believe, 5th measurement so far. And so just if you're wondering what's going on, The snow survey team goes to 6, sometimes 7 different locations throughout the snow course. They go to the same exact spot each time to see how much snow is at that spot, and then those get averaged to give us a general idea of what the snowpack is at this site. So as they're coming into their 6th and possibly final measurement, those totals will be averaged out and then factored in. Andy Rising, who is the manager of the Snow Surveys and Water Supply Forecasting Unit, will come to the microphone and deliver what the averages are at this site for this location, as well as giving us a general idea of how the rest of the state of California is looking. So after this measurement wraps up, Andy will do his calculations and then probably in about 10 to 15 minutes come back and deliver the results. So stick around and wait for those to happen then.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the 3rd snow survey of the season here at Phillips Station. My name is Jason Entz. I'm an information officer with the California Department of Water Resources. In one moment, I'm going to welcome up Andy Rising, the manager of DWR Snow Surveys and Water Supply Forecasting Unit, to talk about the results we saw here today at Phillips and our statewide conditions. California has been measuring the snowpack here at Phillips Station since 1941, and today this is just one of over 260 snow courses all across the California Sierra Nevada that are being measured at the top of every month during winter by DWR and our partners in the California Cooperative Snow Surveys Program. The Snow Surveys Program consists of over 50 different agencies across the state that every winter help DWR collect the data on the snowpack we need to create accurate water supply forecasts. These forecasts are critical for water managers and reservoir operators to understand how much snowpack will eventually translate into snow melt that will reach our rivers and reservoirs in the spring and summer. Today here, obviously we're here at the March survey, which means we just have 1 month left of the critical snowpack building season. April 1st is the most important snow survey of the season, just 1 month from now, because historically the snowpack reaches its peak on April 1st and then transitions into snow melt. So with just 1 month left of the snowpack building season, I'm going to go ahead and welcome up Andy to go over today's results. Andy?
Thanks, Jason. Hi, everyone. My name's Andy Rising, spelled A-N-D-Y-R-E-I-S-I-N-G. And I'm the manager, as Jason said, of the Snow Surveys and Water Supply Forecasting Unit at Department of Water Resources. So results today, our snow survey resulted in 28 inches of depth and 11 inches of water content. So we gained a little bit from last month. Last month we were about 8 inches here of water content. That really translates, if we melted this all down, to about a foot of water. That's sitting here on this meadow. The average is for today, 47% of average for this date and 45% of the April 1st average at this location. And those numbers are really close together, telling me that this particular location doesn't necessarily expect a large accumulation over the month of March. We hope that's different this year because we're a little bit behind. I'll get into that in a little bit. But as Jason said, we compare to the April 1st average because that's typically when we peak. When the snow stops accumulating and the melt rate is greater than the accumulation rate. Is it always April 1st? No. There's many times when the peak is earlier or later than April 1st. But on average, over a 30-year average, we peak around April 1st. I specifically recall back in 2006, we had a very big Easter snowstorm, snowed in 6 feet in the middle of April. And so we can still have those, but we can't count on them. They're rare, but they do happen. Based on this morning's data from our automated snow sensor network across the state, we sit at 66% of average for this day. So the statewide average is higher than we are at this location. Last year, our March 1st survey resulted in a water content of 13.5 inches, which was 56% of average for this location, and the statewide snowpack was about 85%. So 66% today, 85% last year. We're behind where we were last year. A month ago, we were standing here in the midst of a long dry stretch, you may remember, with unseasonably warm temperatures and a very dry forecast. Today, we can observe the results of what that dry stretch means for our snowpack. If we don't have snow coming, we fall behind, and that's exactly where we're at today. So last week's storms were quite cold and delivered significant snowfall throughout the mountains of California, including right here. This is one of the storms that what I talked about last month that we hoped for, that would give us a boost and get us back towards average. But it also shows how quickly things can change, because this week we had a wet storm that rained on top of the snow, melted a lot of it away. You know, some of the people in this area who I talked to this morning confirmed that a lot of the snow, you know, I fell into a stream this morning because of the water that's flowing under the snowpack. You just can't see how much is flowing, but it's a result of the warm rains that we had last week. So the net of the two storms helped us, right? We're ahead of where we were last month, but still way behind where we would hope to be, particularly in the northern part of the state. The net of the storms of the past 2 weeks did not catch us back up to average in terms of our snowpack, and this demonstrates just how significant those long stretches are, as I said earlier. There also remain noticeable regional differences in the snowpack. Snowpack in the northern Sierra Nevada, which is north of us, where many of our larger reservoirs are located, is only about 45% of average for the state. Whereas the Central Sierra, this is part of the Central Sierra and south, and the Southern Sierra Central Sierra is 70%, Southern Sierra is 90%. So that's kind of opposite of where we were last year. If we remember, the north was doing better than the south. This year, it completely shifted from north to south. We now just have one more month before April 1st, as Jason said, when the snowpack typically stops growing and melting increases. At that point, the seasonal temperatures and longer days make it very difficult to add much more snow. So despite the high snow totals delivered by the February storms, we are below average and not where we would like to be at this time of year. We've had some good March storms over the years, but there's no guarantees. And we'll have to see if this March can give us that boost that we would need to come back to average. Comments?
Thank you, Andy. And with that, I'll go ahead and open it up to questions for media here in attendance.
Andy, thanks for taking
Yep.
the time. I don't want to promote you now. Would you describe this in your view as the expert as you're cautiously optimistic, you're disappointed, or it's really good, but is it somewhere in the middle? How would you describe it?
Yeah, thank you. So the question is, how are we feeling now? Are we optimistic? Are we a little disappointed? How are we feeling about how this past month and how maybe the next month looks?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about perspective, right? So last month, we're looking at a really dry forecast. And so fortunately, we had a big snow producer, which helped us. And then we had a warm storm, which kind of took us backwards. You know, a lot of that water is now running down the rivers. So while we're ahead, I mean, so your question sounded emotional, and it's hard to, you know, to scale emotional wise, but we're behind where we would like to be. You know, we've had years where we're well ahead and where we're well behind. That's just normal. And so this is, at this point, a drier year, especially in the north. Down south, it's doing a lot better. So again, we'll have to see how this month plays out. But in the south, we could be okay. But the north, it's going to be really hard to catch up with a snowpack that low. So.
Yeah, thank you. So the question about reservoir levels, Andy, how we think that translates to, if you can talk a little about how important the snowpack is for our reservoirs, and then with the results we saw today, what that means for them in our water supply in the future.
Mm-hmm. So during the winter, you know, the reservoirs need to be maintained lower. There's a top of conservation, because if a big event, we want to have the reservoir storage available to contain that runoff and protect the cities and you know, where people live from flooding. And so they have to keep their reservoirs lower. they're pretty full for where they can be right now. They're, because of the rains that we've had. We've had a really good rainy season. We're still above average for the whole state as far as our total precipitation. It just hasn't always translated to snow, particularly up in the north. So the reservoirs are doing well right now, but ideally we get a full snowpack and we can fill the reservoirs at the time that we need to fill them. Up north with the lower snowpack, it's going to be harder for them to fill. But I'm not the expert in reservoir how they can do that. But ideally we'd have a better snowpack that would give them more confidence that they will be able to peak at the right amount of time to hold it. But we're not in trouble.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, awesome. Well, if there's no other questions, I'd like to thank everyone for coming up here. Again, we'll see everyone up here again in 1 month from now. Again, the critical April survey is a very important measurement because that's historically where we hope to see the peak of the snowpack, and we'll have to see what happens between now and then. So see everyone in about a month from now. Thank you very much.